Describe the sights, sounds, and/or feelings you had when you first arrived in Vietnam.
Yes, we took a boat to Vung Tau, which is the port, and we got on. We were greeted by a band and young ladies with leis. It was like arriving in Hawaii. But then we got on a plane and flew to Bien Hoa, and then got on buses and went out, interestingly, to the University of Saigon, and that was the first place we bivouacked. We were there about a week, and then we went up to Cu Chi to our permanent base camp. And I remember driving into Cu Chi on the back of a truck with my soldiers and my platoon, and seeing a propeller-driven plane come down and shoot a rocket. It was trying to hit a communist position, but the rocket was short and he hit a soldier and killed him. And that was a very vivid first impression of arriving at the base camp. Our base camp in Cu Chi took us about 3 weeks to get into because we were on top of a tunnel complex. So at night we'd put soldiers in the foxhole facing both ways because the enemy could come up in the middle of your base camp. It was an unusual base camp.
Wow. Was that like a lot of pressure for you?
Was it what?
Did that affect you emotionally?
Oh, sure, of course. Yeah, you got to stay alert, be sharp, and figure out what do we do in a situation like this. So it's interesting because now I go back to Vietnam all the time, and one of my good friends over there was a Viet Cong whom I fought against. I spent 1 year in Cu Chi. He spent 7 years there.
Wow. Okay, so now I'm going to ask you some major events during the war, lasting memories from the war.
Okay.
Is there any event from the war that you remember the most?
Yes, I remember an assault into, we crossed a river and then assaulted a tree line. And I got pinned down in a peanut field, and I radioed back to Rick Clark, the other platoon leader who was coming up, and I said, "Be careful, you're coming up on a sniper." And that sniper killed a sergeant named Binion. And then Rick's soldiers killed that sniper. And Rick had said the night before that if Binion were killed or if I were killed, he couldn't continue. But obviously he had to continue, and we had to keep going. So that was a very indelible memory of the war. It was a very sad memory. Binion was a young man. He had had a wife and a child, and had no more future. So we've tried to keep Binion's memory alive and honor him in different ways.